Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. So you're probably unfamiliar with the site that you're seeing right now. This is definitely not Skull and Bones, that's for sure. This is Navel Action, and you might have heard me mention this on a few of my other videos, and I did say I was going to show it off, and today that video is going to happen. So we're just sailing, we're in the basic brig. You can always get this for free. And this is the open world. There are two different sort of worlds you can think of. There's the battle realm and the open world realm, and they operate completely differently in the way that the ship functions and moves. Now, the reason I want to show this today is because I believe that this is truly the better comparison with Skull and Bones than Sea of Thieves. In my opinion, Sea of Thieves and Skull and Bones is like comparing Battlefield to Call of Duty because they both have guns. They're both completely different games. Just because they have guns doesn't mean that you really want to compare the two. You play both of them for slightly different reasons, and it's in my opinion the same in this case. You play Sea of Thieves for a slightly different reason to playing something like Skull and Bones or Navel Action, which lean more towards a realistic size of your ships and how many cannons you have. Now, Skull and Bones is still extremely arcade, Navel Action being the true naval sim, in my opinion, and I'll show you that all later. So let's get into the video. I'm going to show you guys around and see what you guys think of Navel Action in comparison to Skull and Bones. So one of these icons you see on the map represents, I believe, a boost. It's like a gust of wind or something like that. So we're going to go head over there and check it out. See you guys there. We just grab the buff. It's behind us. You click on it and you click on use, which is what we've just done there. So now we're going to continue our journey southeast and get to my location, which is Mortimer. So while we're traveling here in our beautiful basic brigantine, I'll show you the map, and you can see my little blip here moving along, and that's my destination, and I've just gone from KO. So you can see that this is still going to take a while, and this is the map. It is huge. I mean, it even goes all the way down here sort of area. This part, Pacific Ocean, obviously we could ignore, but you can see the sheer size of this map is just humongous. It is humongous. And each one of these, not all of them, some of them are neutral, but some of these ports you can go and take over. You can see here port battle window 10 to 1 a.m. right? So there's set times and so on and so forth, so you can plan accordingly. And each one of these factions, you can see here, or nations I should say, you can play as. So you can support your favorite nation during the golden age of sailing, if you truly want to. Who am I a part of? The pirates. That's who I'm a part of. Are there any pirates out there? Who knows? Probably not. But that's who I'm a part of. We are heading to the main pirate facility, being Mortimer. And there I'm going to show you a few more things. So we finally made it to Mortimer, and there's a few things I want to show you. So here I'm in my trader brig, and if I look at the stats, you can craft in this game, and you can craft ships with different types of wood. So for example, this trader brig is crafted out of fur. Now this is going to reduce its effective defensive capabilities dramatically. I mean, I am literally paper thin, but it's also going to give me 1.44 knots and also give me 0.25 in terms of my turn rate, which is super nice, obviously, on a trade ship where the whole point is going from A to B, and the faster you can do that, you know, the more effective you can be at your trading. So if I then go look at another ship, so let's just go get a big boy out. Big boy, big boy, big boy. What do we have going on here? Let's get this guy out here. The Christian. Now this ship is one, in my opinion, extremely gorgeous. It's also quite rare, unless they've changed something. But here, I've got this as teak and white oak. And this is going to give me a little less in terms of speed, but a good chunk in my defensive capabilities. Now, I don't know if teak and white oak are good anymore. They used to be pretty sought after. If anyone knows and plays this game still, tell me in the comments down below. But you can basically craft different things. Now, you do have to go through the whole crafting, leveling up thing. So I used to have maximum crafting, but they wiped everything since I properly last played. But you can craft, and you basically just craft loads of things, get your crafting up, and then, you can craft the next tier of stuff, so on and so forth. So there's a few things I wanted to show you in this section here. And you can see my current rank is Terra, which is right at the top by my mouse. And that gives me 1,700 crew, which is obviously a pretty healthy amount of crew. If you look at the maximum crew for this ship, it's 918. So we can definitely go into some pretty big boys with that. Below that is my next rank. And that's a lot of experience, I'm going to be honest. At least for me, I suck at the game. So for me, that's a lot of experience. Maybe for some pros out there, it's a walk in the park. And then below that, you can see my crafting, which we went through. If you look where my mouse is, just below my rank, Terra, you're going to see 306,755. That's my reels. That's, you can get that when you complete a battle, depending on the amount of damage, unless they've changed it since I've last played. At least when I last played, it was depending on the amount of damage you did. So if you sunk ships, you would get more reels and experience than if you just captured them for their loot, for example. Now, you can still loot them if you sink them, but capturing can also be quicker if you do it right. So that's very important. What that will allow you to do, for example, is purchase cannons, for example. And you can see here, for this big boy, it can get quite expensive, which is probably why I barely have anything on this ship. So let's go down to something that's more my size. How about that? How about we go down to something a little bit more akin to what I'm able to do. After that, we do have doubloons. So it's kind of like your gold. This is extremely important. What that'll allow you to do is purchase certain things like equipment. And equipment you slot in your ship, they'll give you benefits like this gives me 1% to my maximum speed, and also my sailing crew is increased by 3.5%. And we can see here there's various different pieces of equipment. Now, if these are the right ones or the wrong ones, I don't know. I haven't played in so long that I literally know very little at this point. And then besides that, you can get books too. Now, books, you can find at certain ones you can find at sea, and certain ones you can purchase with doubloons, or even reels as well. And they basically give you passive bonuses to your ship. So if you can see here, I've got reloading. This basically increases my cannon reload time by 2%. So sorry, decreases it by 2%, and also the cannon crew by 2.5%. Right. So obviously very, very important. Now, there's a couple things I want you to take note here, and that is that if your ship is sunk, well, it's gone. That's it. If your ship gets captured, it's also gone. So if you've ever played something like EVE Online, and you understand the concept in EVE Online, if your ship is blown up, lost, or whatever, it's just gone. Whatever was on it, whatever was in it, it's gone, right? But books, if they're not in your hold, right, and you've applied it or whatever, you can then select it. So these are all the books that I have unlocked up here, right? I can put them in, right? And now if my ship is sunk, I don't lose these books. So if I get another one of these low keens, I can then just, reapply my books and continue. But I would still have to go get my equipment. I would still have to go get the cannons, all the stuff in the hold, which is obviously important. You want your rigs and your rum and all that sort of stuff. So to touch on that real quick, seeing as we are here, we can look at these three items here. So we have the hull repairs, we have rum, and we have rig repairs. Now, hull repairs, self-explanatory, help repairs your hull. You have rig repairs, which does your sails. And then you also have rum, which does your crew. Now, you can decrew ships in this game and then board them. Now, there's a whole mini game It can be a bit daunting or scary at first, and to be honest, it's scary to me because I suck at it. But that is the thing you can do. So rum basically just gives you more crew. That makes them happy. They love rum. They love it. So those are definitely very, very important if you're going to get into the game to think about if you're going to go out there and do some combat. So there's that. There's a few other things I wanted to show you guys. We go up here, you can obviously there's various more other upgrades at the top right. Where is it? So if we look at the perks, right, which is at the top right, it's this white sort of paper looking thing. There are various different perks you can get that do all sorts of things, from help with your maneuvering, from improve your acceleration, and so on and so forth. So there's just various different perks that you can slot in. They have different points that are required for the perks. So you can see here, my free points is 48. You can reset them, change them. The one that I always have in, at least for me, because I have no idea where I'm going half the time, is the Sextant. And what this does is it displays your position at sea. What that means is when you hit M, if I can do that in port, yes I can. If I hit M, obviously I'm docked so you can't see it, but you will see that little ship icon, and I can see where I'm going. I can get my protractor out. I need to be at sea to get the protractor out, but you should have seen it in an earlier clip. I can get my protractor out, plan my route, and head on my merry way. So if you're starting out and you're confused into why you can't see yourself on the map, you do need to slot this in, and I think that is very important, especially if you're new to the game, to put in the Sextant, so you can see where you're going and not get lost at sea. Suck. So obviously there's various different things you can do. This game can be, you can play the market, there's trading, you can craft ships and sell them to players, so on and so forth. Those are all things you can do, including cannons and other bits and pieces. I personally am more akin to combat, so it's normally what I do. And how about we get into some combat and go check it out, and I'll show you what I mean by more of the naval simulator that this game sort of provides. So something I wanted to show you guys before we just head out is the amount of cannons you can get on a ship. Now this isn't the most amount of cannons you can get. I think 118 is the most, which is just ridiculous. But the example I was going to show you here is the 96 on this Christian, which looks absolutely fantastic. And just look at that. I mean, it's just bristling with cannons just spewing out of the side of it. It's got cannon ports in the back, and you got some on the front as well. I'm not sure how we missed the rope here, maybe because we shoot over the rope, but look, you can even actually, wow, imagine being the guy who's standing in front of that. That'd be scary. Either way, you can have a lot of cannons. All right, so we're out in our ship, and I believe we have 88 cannons on this guy, and we're going to put those to the test on a frigate, which we're coming up to now. So I'm going to show you how to initiate a battle, as you're going to have to. So I've clicked on the frigate, and you can see sort of the battle rating I'm going against. This is 65, I'm in a 200, so I significantly am higher, but this is definitely just for demonstration. So we've got to, I did that really poorly, but you want to sort of align yourself up to the ship that you're going for. And then we're going to click attack. It's going to give us, I think it's a 10-second sort of timer before it initiates the battle. And wherever you are in conjunction to the ship you're attacking, or vice versa, is how the battle is going to start. So you'll see that when I catch up to him. So when I do, we'll get back to it. So here I am catching up to him. I'm going to click attack. Oop, click attack. So 5 seconds. I think I'm a little too close to him. There we go. So now we're going to load in, and I believe I'm going to be skipping this next bit because there's going to be a timer before everything begins. So you can see at the top there, I have a 35 seconds of wait time. And now you can see sort of the game looks completely different. I've got people on my deck and everything. And you can see my ship is significantly larger than the one we're going against. So when we start the fight, we'll get back to it. All right, we're at 3 seconds now before the fight begins. And I probably should have gone for some sort of stuff against sails, but here we go. First fight in a while. Starting off strong already. Now you can see how everything is just taking significantly longer to get going here. Definitely could have lined myself up to get an initial broadside, but it is what it is. He's going to cross over me. He's inside the wind. I'm going to put in battle sails. I'm going to turn down the stay sails so you can do all these things. I'm going to line up for a shot now that we're moving. Almost there. Let's do something like 100 meters. Oh, yes. So you can see now that we're shooting each other, and the health is mine is on the top left and his is on the top right, and you can see him shedding off the left armor of his ship, and the middle sort of bar represents the inner hull, and then you have obviously the stern and the bow. Ooh, some carronades. You can tell the carronades by that really cool sounding explosion there. He's trying to mosey on away from me, but we are absolutely just shredding him at this point. So you can see the similarities with when I was saying to Skull and Bones, in the fact that there is no you running around in first person or whatnot. No, he's turning in for a bit more. And you sort of line up with your shots on the side and fire, except this is just a lot more realistic. So I'm going to turn off the stay sails, slow down just a little bit more. I'm going to go for a 250 meter radius there, and we're just going to fire right on into him. Oh, just looks awesome, that. I don't even think we're hitting him. Okay. The stay sails back up, or whatever they're called. And we've got even more cannons locked and loaded, but we're going to have to turn. He's heading straight to port. Don't know why. We're going to turn in on him. We're going to switch over our convergence to 100 meters with the R key. We're going to start firing on him with the carronades. Oh, just beautiful. Now that we've got the left armor out the way, we're going to be blasting through his hull. We're just going to allow him to shoot me. You can see at my top left, a lot of those actually bounced, it looked like, because I barely took anything. And how about this? We'll fire one more set of carronades into him. And then I'm going to let him fire at me again. Let's see if we can catch the cannonballs bouncing. It's going to take him a second to reload. Now he is severely hurt. We're actually going to have to slow down here. Is he sinking? You can see that the cannons are now below water, so it looks like he's pretty damaged. Oh, I'm going to slow down quite a bit here. Yeah, look, he's taking on water. Alright, well, we might as well just finish him off then. Oh, those carronades. Tearing him apart. And we got him. We can open him up now for some loot. And take all his lovely, lovely things. Oh, what is this? A La Grosse Venture permit. Interesting. So that was the frigate. We've sunk him now, and he will go further and further down into the water. The smoke from the cannons are getting in the way. But you can see what I mean by it. It is a lot slower. I've manually turned my sails just to slow down really quick. And while we're in this, we might as well. I'm going to skip ahead to when we're actually going. But let's get going. So here we are. We're about to go against the wind. In the bottom left, you can see my speed. Now going 5 knots, 4.7. And you can see as I'm turning in, if I just like in any other sort of like Skull and Bones, Sea of Thieves, going into the wind, you can literally just go in and it doesn't really matter. But in this game it does, as it does in real life too. So here we are, we're entering the wind now, and you can see just the speeds we're at. So if I manually move my sails, I always get this bit a bit janky, but I'm going to manually move my sails, and you can see I'm not even putting any input in. I can turn my ship with the sails. So tack over the wind, which I think is just really cool. I'm leaving the battle, and you can see here as I'm leaving the battle, I got battle report. I got 65 experience from that. All right, we're back in with a completely different type of ship, and we're fighting a Navy brig, and we're in the La Requin. The ship actually has different sails, and they actually operate differently too. Now, for me to manually do sails on this ship, I can guess. I can just twiddle my thumbs about and hope for the best. But they don't work the same way as the sort of square rigs that you're used to. They allow me to go against the wind a lot more efficiently, and they also allow for a lot better agility. So here I'm going to start lining up on this guy. We're going to fire upon him. You're going to see how much damage I've taken now compared to what we were used to, right? So here I'm going to let him shoot me. I am going to angle a little bit just to try and negate some of the damage. And now I'm going to go right in on him. Switch to a convergence of 250. I'm going to shoot from the stern and fire on him. Now we're going to miss most of those because they went into the water. They don't go through the water on this. And he's now sort of stuck in irons right now, and he's trying to get out of it. And that's going to allow me to dash forward and just get right on him again and shoot hopefully my front cannons. So here I'm going to go back into battle sails. I'm going to turn around completely. There we go. We balanced some of the damage coming in, and I'm going to aim way too low on that one. And now I'm going to do a stern rake on him. Wasn't terrible, wasn't great. I managed to hit his rudder. And basically I'm going to try and stay as best as I can out of his line of fire. But he's turning in for me. We managed to negate a little bit of the incoming fire. We definitely took most of it, that's for sure. We managed to take one of his rear cannons out. So at the top of the middle of the screen, right below, above the sort of timer, is where you'll see my hits and everything. So if you keep an eye on that. There we got a leak. We've got 8 hits on him. And we're significantly beating him on that right side armor. So I'm going to try and get it down a bit more. I'm going to pick up some speed. And hopefully turn a little bit better. Yeah, I'm actually going to slow down. Another 4 hits. Hopefully we don't lose that frontal piece of my ship. Oh, that was huge. Okay, he should definitely be sinking after that. We're gonna put on some of our rear cannons. So these are carronades that I'm using on this ship, and the carronades are definitely a more close range sort of hard hitting cannon. And because of that, I'm actually going to just let him shoot me. Because of that, I'm playing like I'm getting up pretty close to him. So we managed to avoid some of the incoming damage. You can tell by the top left of my screen where it says Sobs being, I think, my clan tag and then my name. You can see, I've mentioned it before, the health bar and my different armor piece sides, my broadsides, as well as the stern and the bow. So let's get in on him because he is about to go down. Surprised he's not already going down. Nice, another 5 crew off of him. I'm actually going to cut across if I can. Do I have time? No, I don't. I do not have time, so we're just going to actually hold this broadside. I'm just going to let him shoot me here. I'm not doing this very effectively, that's for sure. But we'll get him now. This is why we're going for ships that are much lower BR than me. So you can see there I've manually moved my sails, and I can like slow myself down significantly really quickly by doing so, and not having to wait for my full sails to, you know, close, for example. So I'm trying to get onto his right side, and he is definitely doing his best to avoid that right side damage. I'm going to get my sails to auto align to the wind again. So what's happening here, I'm sort of forcing him into the wind, which is going to hopefully get him stuck in irons and finish him off. Is he sinking? Not really. Not really. Oh, no, he's sunk. He's sunk. Let's see what he's got. He had some doubloons on him. Some repair goodies, as well as a piece of equipment. The iron knees that I can equip to my ship if I wanted to. And that will conclude this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the small little battles we had against the AI and sailing around. I hope some of the information helps you guys if you do end up getting the game. And just FYI, the ships that we were fighting was significantly lower in battle ratings. So in Skull and Bones, it might be like fighting a rank, 5 with your rank 10 or something, right? You're just going to smoke it. So just put that into perspective. When you're starting out, it could be significantly rougher, but the journey is enjoyable if you like that sort of thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Cheers for joining me, and I'll see you all on the next one.